Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Stryftek, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your time? Early Access Edition. On trial today, Hades 2. Made by Supergiant Games, the creator of the first Hades, along with Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre, Hades 2 is a roguelike action RPG with a heavy focus on the story. Now, if you've played the first Hades, this is the same game, but better. If you haven't played that, you should go watch my review on that, link down below, play it, and then come back and watch this. And if somehow you've played the first Hades, but you're still on the fence, I guess this video's for you. Two notes before we jump in. One, this is early access, things could change, but honestly, there's not going to be a lot that will change. We'll get into that. And second, there's probably going to be some spoilers from the first Hades game. That's because this is a direct sequel, and the story elements from the first one have continued on here in this one. Okay, let's jump in.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose reign as grim lord of the dead came to a sudden end when all at once his past caught up with him. But gods do not go quietly, and history repeats. So this tale was only a matter of time.
Death to Kronos.
You play as Melanoi, immortal princess of the underworld, and your task is to kill time itself. Okay, not literally time itself, just the titan that controls time, Kronos. And yeah, that's just about all I can say without ruining some of the great moments of this game. So instead of talking about the story itself, let's talk about how it's told. Roguelike games always have the same circle: upgrades, combat, death, repeat. And typically because of the difficulty of those games, you're often back at the base because you die a lot. This makes it very difficult to give the player a nice cohesive story. What do you say the 30th time a player returns to base dead again? Most roguelikes will say nothing until you hit that story checkpoint. Hades always has something to say and always has more story to give you. You might have died from a specific monster and all of a sudden they're talking about that monster back at base. There's also a handful of people in base that you grow relationships with and learn their stories. They also slowly reveal the past, why we're in this situation, where's Zagreus, where's Hades, and why is Melanoi with Hecate? I'm 40 hours in and I have yet to run out of any sort of story. But you don't only get story while in base. While you're out and about getting the boons from the Olympus gods, they give you more information as to what's going on and what's happening. And then those conversations help fuel future ones back at the crossroads.
Just a spell. It's just another spell. 10 words. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Greetings from Olympus and well met there, Sunshine. Look, we can't get to the Titan, but if you truly mean to stop him, then the least I can do is light your way down.
Each death is just a constant IV drip of new storyline. Sometimes character building, sometimes backstory, sometimes it's just banter, but it helps you feel connected to these characters. Sometimes during a run that wasn't going so great, I'd purposely die just to get back and get more story. Now, I will admit I haven't completed the story yet. Much like the first Hades, it takes multiple times to really get the full story of everything that's going on. But what we've got so far is a great story masterfully told by some incredible voice actors, and I am excited to hear more.
Now that's a sea serpent.
The gameplay is very much like the first Hades, just upgraded. You start out with a single weapon and get those random boons from the Olympus gods as you fight your way to your destinations, but quickly unlock more weapons and then the aspects for different versions of those weapons. Then you get trinkets to give you even more bonuses and hone in that playstyle you're going for, so you very much get to customize how you want to go into battle. One of the new things they did add in Hades 2 is the use of magic. Melanoi is a witch, so magic is what's used for her special abilities. Be it a time circle to stop enemies from moving, or giant explosive attacks. Combat is fun, fast, and demanding. Each run ends up being different, and your choices continuously matter and become more important, especially with the new infusions they have. Each ability is basically assigned an element, and many of the boons take advantage of these elements, like deal 5% more damage based on the number of fire elemental boons you have. Your ultimate goal is to craft the perfect run to defeat time itself. This game is very pretty. It continues in the same motif and style as the first Hades, but it does have a noticeable visual upgrade. There are far more 3D models thrown into this than the first one, but it's still a 2D game, but they're masterfully blended together. And all the gods from the previous Hades game have gotten their own visual upgrades too. Everything runs butterly smooth, and this game is perfect for the Steam Deck. I've actually been playing it more on the Steam Deck than I have my PC. It just works really well in a handheld, so I imagine it'll make its way to the Nintendo Switch, much like the first one did.
This song's got Coral Crown.
Darren Korb is a musical genius, and the soundtrack of this game is incredible. Though that's no surprise if you've played any of the other Supergiant games, they all sound amazing, and he's to blame. I've basically had Hades 2 soundtrack on repeat since the game released, and don't really have plans on stopping.
Traitors.
Now, I do realize I have a bit of a bias here, so I did send some tracks over to friends and family for their opinions, and they all agreed the music's good. Now, if the soundtrack wasn't enough, we're also graced with some incredible voice acting.
Where could she be?
The keen-eyed princess finds a set of tracks, suggesting that her foe trod through this dusty ground not very long before.
Shush, Homer. How shall I ever catch her if you're going to describe my every move?
I've no idea to whom you refer, to whom the Princess of the Dead refers, as she continues on her fateful search.
Quit teasing me and help me look.
You'll hear many returning voices from the first Hades, and many new ones. All of them are a delight to listen to, and I'm always excited to be introduced to a new character. So, is it worth your time? I don't usually say this for early access games, but in this case, yes, it is. The big thing here is it doesn't feel like an early access game. It's already so polished and you aren't gonna run out of content in like 4 hours. You'll be playing this for 50 plus hours and still trying to uncover everything. They did say that this early access has more content than the first Hades and that they aren't done. They are missing some things. There's locations to add, some story, another weapon, and some other systems that just aren't in place yet. But with the amount of content you are getting and the quality of said content, it's an easy yes. Go pick this up, go play it. Unless you haven't played the first Hades, and if that's the case, I don't know why you're here. Go play that, it's amazing. My name's been Stryftek, and thank you for watching. If you deemed this video to be worth your time, please toss a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Time?